Okay.
Hi. Hi, everyone. How you doing?
I'm good.
Always good. So, um, so I keep doing the inquiry thing.
Right.
Yeah, and I keep trying to catch my mind unprepared for the inquiry. So doing it in the like most unexpected moments. Like doing something very random. And then I do the inquiry, and then sometimes I catch my mind off guard. But um and sometimes when I pay attention to this me, I, it's pretty pure I. Like I'm not this or that, I just am. Or when you say, like just be. And sometimes that being is just being, not being this or that. And when it's like that, it's like joy, pure joy. It doesn't need anything. But most of the time, I pay attention to the eye, but the idea of body and everything comes attached with this feeling of I. And there is nothing like I can do to make it this or that,
I'm trying to
which can
understand.
be frustrating.
I
What?
quite don't get what you're trying to say.
Like I keep paying attention to this I thing.
Yes.
Yes. And obviously I'm there.
To yourself.
Yeah, to myself. And sometimes I see this I and it's just this feeling of I. But most of the times the feeling of I, the body, my life, my memory, my everything comes attached with this I.
Because it is attached to this I, correct.
It is attached to this I, yes. And and it's, I don't know, it's like lately I'm feeling, like when you're trying to find the radio station and there's a lot of noise and the closer you get it, you hear it better. And then at one point, like all the noise falls off and you can like hear very clearly. Like but you have to get like the right frequency. And I feel like I'm running the dial left and right, but I don't I can't I can't and I guess I'm running in circles because I'm maybe trying to, I don't know, better my practice or whatever, but it's so random. I never know when I'm hitting the frequency or not.
There
You
is,
know what I mean?
you think the
Like,
frequency amounts to remain as the seer. And
I'm always the seer.
now this is what it seems to be the seer, which is the ego. Ego even takes the identity of the witness. But it's not the real witness, it's not the real seer, it's not the real conscious self.
How do I know if it's ego pretending to be the seer or the conscious self?
Not the ego, the question will not arise
Ah, okay. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
because there will be no ego to raise the question.
Yeah. Okay.
You will not identify yourself as the ego, meaning by that as the body. Ego means body, or I am the body. Ego also means separate individual beingness, separate individual existence or self. I am a separate individual, autonomous being entity, right? Self, right? And there is an individual consciousness. I am this individual, therefore consciousness is individual because it's mine. This is the false I, the thought I am this body. So the attention goes to this I. And this is as far as this I can go. The rest is a matter of grace. When this I pays attention to itself, it isolates itself from thoughts, feelings, emotions, bodily sensations, sensory perceptions. When it remains single, alone, disassociated, disidentified with anything, it will subside. It will disappear. Means the idea I am this body will disappear. And automatically the knowledge of being consciousness will be absolutely and totally clear, no doubt. So the word self in self-inquiry is ego self. So we are holding the thought I by paying attention to it. Because we believe to be the thought I, then we pay attention to ourselves as the ego. Paying attention to ourselves as the ego, the idea of being the ego disappears. So it doesn't matter the quantity or the quality of the thoughts.
And it doesn't matter if the idea of the body and everything is attached to this I.
This I is the idea of being the body. And any other idea is attached to this idea. Any other thought is attached to this thought. This is the root thought, I. Any other thought is just the trunk, the branches, leaves, flowers, and fruits, right, of the same tree, the ego. That is why we must fix attention on the ego and the I. So this I, see, disassociate itself with everything else. It's like it dries the tree, and then it dries itself also up, and it dies.
Sometimes this I feels, I don't know, like not attached to the body, not attached to anything. It's like, I don't know, it's like self-sustain, there's, and then it's different. It's different. The feeling is different sometimes.
If the feeling is different, if the I feels different than the body, the I is consciousness. Feels.
Sorry, what?
If the I feels different than the body, then this I is consciousness. Because it's different from the body and it's different from the mind. And the mind is I am the body idea. That is the mind. The body is also the mind, but the mind is not, the body is not the problem. The problem is this subtle aspect of the mind, which is thought, or what we understand by thought. So consciousness feels different. It's not a feeling, but it's a way of speech, right? It is different.
It's different.
It is silent. It doesn't say I, and yet it is I. So since we are this consciousness is I. The other I is not real, it's a thought. It's a thought that identifies consciousness with the body and that gives the impression that I, the self, is the body or limited to it. That I am subject to birth, growth, decay, death, I don't know, free will,
Yes.
destiny, karma, bondage, liberation, and the rest of it. All these are thought also.
But sometimes there are like these moments when I catch it, like, and then there's like everything is still, I don't know, it's not like everything disappears. Not everything is the same, but it's like it doesn't matter anymore.
Means
Whatever it is.
if you identify yourself as consciousness, then nothing really matters because you are unaffected by phenomenon,
Yes.
including mental activity.
Yes. And then you want to go, and then there's like you want to go there, like, like, and then it comes, and then all the shit comes back.
It has to come back.
Yes.
It has to come back because it has to come to the surface. All what is attached to this I must go. All the imprints, all the tendencies, all the desires must go. Otherwise, the ego cannot go. It's too heavy to take flight. It's like the bags of sand in the balloon that keeps it on the ground so it cannot take off. When the I is pure enough, so it disappears. You will not lose the capacity to think. You will not lose the memory, right? Or certain knowledge that you have, practical knowledge, right? You will not lose the capacity to feel. You will lose just the meaning of no thought will arise. Is the I am the body idea and all the ideas associated with it and with the others that depends of this idea about myself. It is sudden. The ego disappears suddenly. It's just not in time, not as a process.
Yeah.
It will be just not there. But you will be there as something else, the self. Right? So again, as the ego, we can go as far as to remain self-aware, that's all. To keep
The
quiet.
interesting, Mhm.
To keep quiet.
Yeah,
When one is self-aware, the mind becomes quiet.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But the funny thing, there is always this, I don't know, you may call it, I don't know, seer, witness, whatever, that keeps witnessing from the same point, regardless if if I'm attached to the body, not attached to the body, if I'm upset, not upset, here or there. Like that one point never ever changes, whether I'm like aware of it or not.
correct.
It's always there, and this
The
is
thing,
what I'm.
the,
Yeah,
the thing is that when you say when I am aware of it, now you appear to be something different from it, and you objectify it because believed to be the subject. But the real knowledge is I am not aware of it, I am it. Means I am aware of myself. This is real self-awareness or self-knowledge or self-realization.
yeah. Yeah,
It's always present, it's always the same.
that's what I was about to say. It's always the same, always the same. It never ever changes.
It's
Always the same.
correct,
It's always me. The
correct.
same, like
And,
whether I'm like in drama or I'm quiet, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's always the same,
and it doesn't appear.
nor disappear.
Exactly. It's just covered by thoughts.
Yes, yes. By our attention being drawn to the thoughts.
Correct.
Yes.
If you pay attention to thoughts, then thoughts goes on because they feed on attention.
Yes,
If
yes.
thoughts are ignored, then the attention goes on the seer, which is also a thought.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Uh, Sorry, I was Indrik.
Yeah, it's okay. So sometimes when we talk like this, like I see it clearly, and then tomorrow all the drama's back, and I'm like, like I can, as I said, like there's a lot of noise on the radio, but somewhere in the background you can hear the song, but not very clearly, but it's always there.
You mean the self?
Yes.
Yes, correct, correct, correct. So slowly, gradually, or radically, it depends. You will be more and more convinced that you are that. That is the background where everything else is happening, where everything else appears and disappears. If you remain as that, as you are, then you remain unaffected. You are already unaffected. I am affected. I am affected is a thought, right? And the first
Yes.
thought in the sentence I am affected is I. And I, for that to be the case, should be body.
The thing is, we're like we are looking for something, like look for the eye, and then we'll and then we look, like, but there's nowhere to look. There's nothing to find because like you can't look for it.
You are looking for the eye.
And you can't look for it. You can't find it.
You cannot look for the self because the self is there.
Yes, and this is what's been, because
Who is the one that is looking? Who is the seeker? That's the question.
yes, but the very idea of looking for something is wrong.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
This is what's been confusing me because I kept.
If you misunderstand what is the meaning, see, if you want to seek is the seeker, who is it? Let me have a look. And when you look for it, it disappears.
Yes.
It doesn't exist. It never existed. It only appeared to be there and appears to be I.
But it's like if you are dead, you can't look for it.
Correct.
If it's, yeah. And I've been searching like crazy, and I think it's not just me. Like we keep looking for something different.
It's I am convinced intellectually by the means of logic also that I am that. Why should I seek myself or anything else? And if I am that, what should I do to be what I am? So if I understand that, the mind stops seeking and becomes still, and it subsides. If the tendencies are not fully destroyed, which that might be the case, in most cases it's like that. Not everybody's like Ramana Maharshi, that the ego disappears once for all and never came back. In most cases, because the tendencies are not fully destroyed, then the tendencies brings the ego back because the ego and the tendencies are the same, right? There's analogy, there's a nice analogy of a well, right? And a well has a bucket, and the bucket is attached to a rope, and a rope is attached to something that you can see bring it up and down, right? So the mind is the bucket, and you can let the bucket sink in the water, but you can always bring it back because the rope is attached to the stick, right, on the top, right? But if you cut the rope and the bucket sinks in the water, you cannot bring it back. See, when you cut the rope, then the ego is gone once for all.
And what's the rope?
Otherwise, it can be brought back.
But what is the rope?
Hmm?
What is the rope?
Body identity. The mind has no object to hold on to, right? It grabs this object. It is born out of an object, right? I am this object. I am this body. then it feeds on other objects, right? The mind gives subjectivity to the body, where the body appears to be a subject. The subject is really the self. The real seer, or witness, or observer, or knower, is the self. And it's called like that just differentiated from the known, from the mind, the body, and the rest of it, right? From phenomenon. In reality, consciousness is neither a subject nor an object, it simply is. Consciousness is just consciousness. And since nothing is separate from consciousness, therefore everything is consciousness, so there cannot be subject and object idea there, right?
It's funny because you can hear the words like millions of times, but until you start, like catching it for yourself, it's only then that you can start to understand what you're talking about.
That's why repetition is compulsory. It purifies the mind also from wrong ideas, see? From wrong thinking. I am this, that, and the rest of the blah, blah, blah that comes along with it.
It's actually way simpler than we expect it to be.
Hmm? Yes, it is. But we have so many wrong ideas, right?
Yes.
And because of that, we complicate. Our minds are complicated.
Yes. Yeah, but then also it needs complication to survive.
Consciousness is simple because it simply is. And it's not the body, and it's not the mind, it's not a thought. It just is. Cannot be, I don't know, I cannot go as far as to say that it simply is.
But yeah, but it is. And there is like a joy in that. And then I can see it for a moment, but then tomorrow I'm gonna be all over back in drama again. Like it gets so covered up. And it's there somewhere, but I couldn't find it if my life depended on it. Yeah. But once you catch the whiff of it, like you can't, there's no going back. It like just pulls you to keep, I don't know. Yeah.
It's like literally impulses, tendencies. It's like an impulse to so of the mind to get out of the self, to rise again.
Yes, but there is also a pull in the other direction.
Because even the all this because of the grace of the self. The self is the one that is pulling the mind inwards, and the mind is trying to go away.
It's so funny, the idea of looking for something, like searching for something.
Yes. For troubles,
There's nowhere to go. Sorry, what?
looking for troubles.
What?
The mind is looking for troubles.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So thank you, Caesar.
You're welcome. Good.
Hey, Caesar.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good.
So, you're talking about tendencies, and the other day, a tendency was triggered, and everything was okay. And I got home, and then the mind started to go off. And I started to inquire, and I had to actually lie down. It was so crazy. The mind, like. It's just so strange, but it settled down. But during the inquiry, there's still some sort of body identification. But during the inquiry, there's like, it's different. It's like there's an intuitive knowing that the self can't be known, but it's reflected. It's like an intuitive seeing that it's reflected in the mind.
Yes.
That be correct?
If there is inquiry, means the inquirer is me, Caesar, the body. The inquiry will dissolve that idea. The idea even of being the inquirer. But when the mind is still, intuitively, we know somehow that the self is there.
Yeah. And it makes sense because it cannot be known.
But,
And that makes it even more sense.
But intuition is mental. And then,
So it's interpreted.
when the ego disappears, intuition also disappears, and the knowledge of being the self is direct. It's direct knowledge.
Okay. Okay.
Some people call it intuition also because intuition means to know something without knowing how to know it, without any mechanism, any way, any practice, any effort, any analysis, any rationalization. You just somehow know it. Like I have intuition that she's gonna come, right? I feel like she's gonna come. Like you know it, but you don't know how you know it because there is no how to know it, right?
And the difference between direct knowledge and intuition. Well, obviously,
There
direct.
is no nowhere knowing that the self is there. The nowhere disappears. The nowhere
But was
disappears.
it direct? Was it direct seeing interpreted by the mind?
It can be, it has to be, it will be.
It has to be, doesn't it?
It will be.
It has to be direct knowledge interpreted, doesn't it?
The direct knowledge will be reflected in the mind. Since the mind is thought, it will be reflected as a thought, I am that, or I am the self. I am that non-dual consciousness and the rest of it.
But was this direct knowledge, but it was interpreted by the mind?
Sorry, but then you get over the interpretation too. And then you get over the interpretation too. And you remain as you are.
Mm-hmm. Everything does seem effortless, and it's like so easygoing, and that thing that goes off in my sleep is still happening.
Sorry, I missed that.
The everything is a lot easier and calmer, and it's really easy to live this way, but it's not. I was reading something, David Goodman on YouTube, and Ramana said, this is not it, and you said it too. It's not realization. It's not full realization. Yeah.
Correct. Full realization means when the knowledge of being the self is irreversible. Means when the ego will not rise again. See, I am the body idea. The idea of being the body will not rise again. Body will be there and you will be conscious of the body and everything else and thoughts and this and that. The thoughts, in this context, practical thinking, right? But the mind itself will reflect the bliss of the self. As a pure mind.
Okay. And tendencies and karma. What
Sorry?
about karma and tendencies?
Yes.
What's like, you said imprints, so to somebody there in the mind, and it's like karma is like a trail of habits, is it?
Karma is action. Action is mental.
Yeah. Habitual imprints is karma, is it?
Repetitive thoughts.
Yeah.
Repetitive patterns of behavior. Or inclinations or predispositions or whatever name we want to give to them.
Yeah, one of them happened the other day. Everything was calm, everything was okay. Next thing, something happened and it triggered. I could see it. The next thing,
Action, so to speak, action is of the body. So the body is the one that is subject to activity. And it will act as preordained by karma. Right? But since we are the self, karma is not applicable to us. So in that sense, there is no karma because when I refer to myself as the self, there is no karma, nor destiny, nor free will, nor bondage, nor liberation, nor seeker for liberation, nor seeking for liberation, nor this, that, or the other, right? Or birth, or death, or reincarnation, and all that. The self is not subject to any of it. And if the thought I am doing is not there, which is there only if there is identity with the body, then who is doing what and what is the action?
yeah, That's what it's like.
Yes.
I'm definitely I'm not doing anything.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just, there's no question or answer about that. It's like, well, it's hard to explain, but there's no doer. But there's body identification. Yeah. Good. Thanks, Caesar.
It will disappear.
Hmm?
It will disappear.
Good. Good riddance to it. Adios, amigos.
It's not even there. It only appears to be there. It appears to be there.
Only for the feelings in the head and the body. Only for the feelings. There wouldn't be any identification.
No, identification is with the body, and then I am the body, and I feel this, and I think that, and I do that, and I perceive that, and all that.
Mm.
See, the fact that consciousness is conscious, that doesn't mean that feels anything. So consciousness and perceptions are two different things.
In what way?
Like consciousness doesn't know anything in the sense that, I mean, consciousness is conscious, but it doesn't experience anything.
No.
No. It's the ultimate receptor. It's a receptor of phenomenon, right? But it doesn't experience them. It's just aware of them,
Yeah.
and not as something else,
Hmm?
and not as something else. Because from the consciousness point of view, there is nothing separate from consciousness. That's difficult to grasp by the mind. That consciousness doesn't experience a thing.
I get that. I through things that glimpses, I get that.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
screen doesn't experience the projection. The
No.
experiencer, the experienced, and the act of experiencing appear in this on the screen.
They have to. Yeah. 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 That's clear now, actually. Okay. Thanks, Caesar.
You're welcome. Harry.
Hi, Caesar. All this talk about identification with the body, it's resonates with me over the last month or couple of months. I've had ailments with the body, and I mean, I've always seemed to be okay, like everything works, everything's fine, and then when something pops up, it's triggering, and I never thought I was actually really that attached to the body, but I think that was because everything was working okay. And when something doesn't work, then it triggers me
Yes.
because it's
Because I am the body, apparently. I believe in the body that is experiencing this, that, or the other. So this is happening to me.
So it never really became apparent to how attached I am until something goes wrong, until something doesn't work as well as it did before.
It is just a matter of, it's according to how it is interpreted, the experience, pleasant or unpleasant.
Yeah.
If it is
So
ego,
it's unpleasant.
the reaction is from the ego. If there is ego, what is pleasant is good. And what is unpleasant is wrong. It's bad.
Yeah. So can that be, I guess, evened out, even with ego present? The thought that this is pleasant and this is unpleasant, self-inquiry self-inquiry will...
Pleasant, remember, I think we spoke about it before. Pleasantness and unpleasantness are just physical sensations.
Yeah.
It may be interpreted by thought. Oh, this is very nice, very tasty, right? Or, oh, Jesus, this is awful, right?
Yeah.
If there is pain, and pain is not pleasant. The things are the predilections, see, the prejudices. It's good,
Yeah.
good, bad, right, wrong, acceptable, unacceptable, moral, immoral, and the rest of it.
Yeah. Would you say that self-realization is easier when you're very young?
No, there is no point of reference.
Yeah.
When the mind is pure, it's the pure mind that leads to self-realization. The pure mind leads to no mind.
Right, sure.
The inquiry is done with
So,
the inquiry is done with the pure mind.
and you mean a focused mind?
No, a pure mind, a selfish mind, a mind. This mind has to be fairly calm, satisfied, detached, unselfish. No expectation for any particular result, even the inquiry, because the mind will not enjoy the result of the inquiry. The inquiry will dissolve the mind.
Yeah, sure.
If you put it intellectually, there is no answer to the question, who am I? The question, who am I, dissolves the questioner.
Yes. Would you say that there is some selfishness in spirituality, in pursuing realization, self-realization?
With
Because it seems
the proper guidance, yes, the spiritual ego.
right. Okay.
Because the ego believes that it's going to realize itself.
Mm.
Even if it hasn't realized itself, and it identifies itself as pure, then I am pure and you are impure. I am spiritual and you are material, right?
Right.
I am vegetarian and you are not, therefore somehow I am better than you. I am realized, you too, but somehow I am more realized than you. I am more established, I have more presence. All this nonsense, right?
Even pursuing self-realization for the bliss or the beauty of it, that would be selfishness, though.
Yes. There is no self-realization to begin with.
Mm.
There is the
Yeah.
realization of the non-self, that the non-self doesn't exist. The self is already the self, it's already realized. Means I am already that.
Yeah.
So how can I realize it if I am that? And who is the other one that is going to realize it? Are there two selves? One that is going to realize the other? Who is this other? Who is this one that wants to realize the other? Right? Who is this I? Who is this I? Then the inquiry is about this I. Let me see who is this I that I believe to be, because I believe to be the ego, right? Because I believe to be the
Oh,
ego, I want to realize the self that I already am. Right?
it's a conundrum.
Yes. So when I look at myself, I as the ego disappear. This is no other way to put it, right?
Right. just a matter of putting attention on that rather than things that appear.
Pay attention to what?
Paying attention to the I and remaining silent
Yeah. And then
rather than
the
focus on.
I you are paying attention to disappears.
Sorry, say that again.
The I that you are paying attention to will disappear.
Mm.
Self-awareness dissolves the ego. Or self-inquiry, or self-attention, or self-observation, right?
Right. You were saying before that all of these triggers need to arise and, I guess, empty out.
Yes, correct.
But if your attention is on the I, all of these things can keep on arising, and if you don't identify with them, even
Correct.
if there's
They
a
fall,
lot
they,
arising.
they fall off of the I because they are attached to the I.
Mm.
But the thinker and the thought, the mind and the tendencies, they are the same. So if the I, the subject, disassociates itself from the object, if the thinker disassociates itself from the thoughts, then it subsides.
Mm. Yeah. I remember when I came back from India, when I first met you, that everything, when I came back to Perth, everything seemed as if it was plastic. Like it didn't really seem that real. But then after a month or 2 or 3 months went by, it was back to how it was before, so to speak. Is that some kind of clarity?
Yes, everything becomes ephemeral, becomes superfluous, become less attractive, less important, right? Less real is not real at all.
Mm. And the thing is that in reality, it's not real. It's not that you're seeing that it seems less real. It's actually not real in the first place, right?
Yes.
So how does that remain? Or how does that, is it because there's like, is there more clarity that's needed for that to become apparent?
You are real. More aware of yourself you are, as you actually are. And then more illusory is the world.
Mm,
The only real thing is you. Meaning by you, of course, the self, our consciousness, yeah.
But the more you believe the mind and the more imprints are, I guess, gathered, the more you believe that the world is real, the illusion is real.
There is no realization of the self if the world is believed to be real.
Mm.
A Rusia, una vacación. Vamos a ver. Sorry, it's Hendrix saying that he wants to go to Russia on holiday. Where were we?
Believing that the world is real rather than an illusion.
Well, it means the same. If you see a mirage, it's not real, right? It is an illusion. That is also the meaning that it doesn't exist. Okay. See you tomorrow.